it's Yume. Welcome to my channel. And since we've been doing a series on the great mentors in anime, we cannot not talk about My Hero Academia. And today, we're gonna discuss the three great mentors in My Hero Academia: All Might, Endeavor, and Aizawa Sensei. We'll discuss their teaching styles, overall effectiveness, and their impact on the students, as well as their strengths and weaknesses. So let's start with All Might, the symbol of peace. And his strength as a mentor, first and foremost, is the fact that he is All Might. He is the greatest hero that these children grow up with. So he comes off as a very inspirational figure. And his unwavering spirit and dedication to justice is perhaps what inspired children of this generation to want to become heroes in the first place. And we see also in Deku's case, All Might's belief in him. The moment he said that you can be a hero, it sets the foundation for Deku belief in himself, especially because it's All Might who says that. And All Might also provides emotional support. We see his bond with Deku and his students, fostering their self-belief and confidence and determination. And All Might also has a great personal experience. As the former top hero, All Might has vast experience and knowledge in heroics, making him valuable resource for tips and guidance. And we see how All Might told Deku that he shouldn't imitate his smash style, and that eventually led to Deku developing his own shoot style with his kicks. But you know, All Might is a great hero, but he's not a great teacher. Like, he doesn't have any experience in mentorship or skills in teaching. All Might himself was a prodigy. He never had that many troubles in controlling his power, whereas Deku need to break all his bones in order to channel the power. But we see in the anime as well, there's this gag where All Might goes around with a book teaching for dummies. And it's funny because yes, he's a dummy trying to teach, but it also shows he's trying to be a better mentor. So I think All Might overall doesn't have the necessary teaching skills, but he does provide the invaluable inspirational for the young generation. Now, in comparison, let's discuss the fiery hero Endeavor and the former number 2 hero and the current number 1. And yes, Endeavor might be a lousy dad, abusive dad, but I would argue that he's a surprisingly good mentor. Let's first talk about his weaknesses as a mentor. First, yes, he is harsh and abusive towards his sons, Shoto, Toya. And his abusive training methods can be detrimental towards his students. As we see, Shoto bears a huge grudge on him. And Toya runs away and becomes a villain. So that leaves a very lasting impact. And Endeavor also has this personal agenda of surpassing All Might. And this can also overshadow the needs of his students. Because he pushes Shoto to use his firepower, for example, in the sports festival, Shoto actually ended up not doing it out of spite and end up losing. So we can't dismiss those weaknesses of Endeavor, but I also want to highlight how Endeavor is a surprisingly good mentor. We see this especially towards the second half, when after All Might had retired and then Endeavor rises to be the number 1 hero, and he takes Deku, Katsuki, and Shoto under his guidance for the work study program, the internship. And we see here how Endeavor was able to balance the high expectation with providing a sense of safety net for his students. And he expects them and challenges them to pass their limits, but he also gives very good practical combat skills and advices. And he pushes Deku, Bakugo, and Todoroki, or Shoto, I guess, to keep up with him during the work study and showing how to be a great hero, like saving people non-stop. And I like the message that he seems to be delivering to these kids. Like, you don't have to be the perfect hero now, but you have to work on surpassing yourself. And you have to ask yourself, am I better today than I was yesterday? And I also really liked when Endeavor told them, like, you can fail, it's okay to fail. The success or your failure doesn't have any impact on my work. And at a glance, it seems that Endeavor was looking at them. But if we look at it through a training perspective, it feels like he's providing a very reliable safety net towards these young heroes. Like, they don't have to be afraid to fail. Endeavor is there to back them up. Endeavor will get the job done. All they need to do is focus on learning. And secondly, Endeavor also taught them about the values of hard work. Like, Endeavor is the guy who knows all about hard work. His hero name literally means hard work. And I think in this case, Endeavor and Deku is quite similar. Both of them needs to work really, really hard to get where they're at. And while on the other hand, Bakugo and All Might were admired because their prodigious skills and the amounts of strength they had since the beginning. So I think that's when Endeavor understands Midoriya's mumblings, and he remarked, "You're one of us." And because at that time, Endeavor understands that Deku is the guy who needs to work hard like him. He thought Deku was one of those gifted people like All Might who didn't have a hard time controlling their power. But Endeavor actually now understands that what it's like to be Deku. That's why he's able to provide good mentoring advices, because he too is someone who has to work hard to where he is now. All Might certainly means well, but All Might, the moment he got One for All, he could control it. He didn't have that much problem as Deku, as I mentioned before. And it seems that Endeavor can relate to Deku more, and because he had to work his skills to where he is now, like the way Deku does. Next up, we have Aizawa Sensei. Now, Aizawa Sensei is not the most powerful hero, the hero Eraser had. He is the kind of hero who does daily underground work. But it's to remind us that war is not won by just one or two prominent heroes, not just by the number one and number two heroes. It's a collective effort of people trying their best. And similarly, a new generation of heroes is not born simply being inspired by All Might. They need someone like Aizawa Sensei who teaches them the basics, the reliable teacher who sees them day to day and see their improvement little by little. Now, Aizawa's strength as a mentor. First of all, he has realistic expectations. Aizawa can understand the challenges and dangers that come with being a hero. And he instills this knowledge from the very first day of UA. He explains the harsh, realistic reality of the hero world to the students during the crypt apprehension test. And his second strength, I think, is his adaptability. Like, he is skilled and experienced that he's able to tailor his teaching methods to suit the needs of each student and let them grow at their own individual pace. We see here in the training arc, for example, he designed specific training methods for different students and pushes them to become better at their specific abilities. And third one, I think he focuses on practicality. While All Might is about these grand ideals and motivations, Aizawa focuses on the practical day-to-day aspects of being a hero. Strategic thinking, like how to prepare the students for the heroism, rescue exercises during the provisional training, for example. All these practical skills are important. And I think his greatest strength as a mentor is the fact that he is willing to sacrifice himself for his students. His top priority, as we see in the whole USJ saga, is to put his students' safety first. Last but not least, I think his quirk is his strength as a teacher. In the UA, where the classroom is literally so full of dangerous, untrained quirks, it's a great reassurance that there is Eraserhead, Erasure, who can prevent any accidents, any incidents from happening because he can erase any quirks. So in conclusion, I think Aizawa is harsh, intimidating, unbelievably strict, but he's also the depth of UA. He cares for his students deeply. And I think just despite of his powers, compared to All Might or Endeavor, I think Aizawa is one of the greatest mentors in My Hero Academia. There you have it, guys. Each these mentors, All Might, Endeavor, and Aizawa, had their strengths and weaknesses, and their effectiveness can depend on the students' needs. Like All Might's inspirational and emotional support is beneficial for students who needs motivation and encouragement. Aizawa's practical skills can help students to become a well-rounded heroes, and Endeavor's intensity and high expectations can drive students to excel. And Deku benefits from the three of them. And in that sense, the three of them also complements each other. So that's it for today. If you have any thoughts regarding these three mentors, please leave a comment down below. And please subscribe to my channel. I upload a new video every week. So see you next time. Thank you for watching.